I don't question their effort. I question their execution. When you rush for 37 yards and lose a time possession by 10 minutes, and it was 10 minutes at the half. It was 20-10 at halftime, and we're still in the ball game. It's a 4-point game, and then the second half, we didn't make plays when we needed to. We couldn't run the ball. Give them credit. Obviously, they did something well, and we didn't. But we've continued to not be able to get moving up front with our offensive line, and again, we can point fingers at the quarterbacks and all that, but if you're not running the ball, there's not many quarterbacks that can sit back in that pocket and throw it all day, and then at times we don't even protect the quarterback. So we got to get a lot better, offensively and defensively. Obviously, explosive game. We finally saw Quadri open up one. It was a heck of a punt return for a touchdown, and so that was one of the bright spots. But I'll take our guys any day to war, and I applaud their effort in trying their tails off, and I guess we aren't there yet. Questions?
Not being able to stop the dive, was it more just the defensive line not getting enough of a push? What did you kind of see? With the
It's a little bit of everything. I mean, guys missing tackles. They didn't give up on a G option. The quarterback scrambles for a touchdown. Everybody starts thinking out there, but they're good at it. They know what they're doing in there. They're trying to, the guards would come down inside and try to wheel our D tackles out. We'll look at the tape. It's so hard to see exactly what's going on. We did some things in the second half to hopefully slow it down. Again, it comes down to possessions, guys. I mean, you talk about dives. I mean, they had 67 rushes. Okay, you're not going to win a football game 10 minutes. We have to win the time possession and flip the 10 minutes so we have it for 20 more minutes. I mean, when you look at what we gave up per carry, you probably won't be as sick as you are when you just look at the total yards of 436, which is more than we've given up. I guess in both those games prior to, but why is the 436? Because we don't sustain drives. We had to have probably 7 3-and-outs. Defensively, we get 4 turnovers. Should have had a 5th one. On a late hit on a quarterback on an interception by Dane, but should have 5 turnovers. You should win the game when you have 4 turnovers. But we got out there offensively and didn't take the momentum with a sudden change and do anything with them. So that's probably the most disappointing thing is our defense. You bend, you get 4 turnovers. You're hoping that the offense is going to light fire after a turnover, but some of the guys on offense aren't playing their best football, and some of them are seniors, and they got to play better if we're going to win ball games.
Longest losing streak as head coach, Pat. I mean, with this being a young team, with the issues you've seen over the last couple of weeks, is this your most? I mean, this is the biggest challenge you've had as a head coach at this point.
Every week's a challenge, Lance. I mean, they're all challenges. There's challenges when you win because you're still trying to fix problems, but I'm not worried about winning streaks or losing streaks. I'm worried about those kids in that locker room that are fighting their tails off every week. We need to find out what the problems are, pinpoint them, and fix them as coaches. That's our job. That's what I don't care win or lose. I want to coach our guys. That's why we coach. And when we got a ways to go, it's even more fun to coach. That's why we coach. I mean, if they were perfect, and that would be like, what do they need us for? They need us right now as coaches, and that's why we'll be there for our kids.
It as frustrated as you've been since you got here with all the rushing yards and the 3 straight?
Again, I'm not worried about rushing yards. I'm worried about wins and losses. And if you give them the ball for 10 more minutes, that offense, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble. They can run the ball, especially if you give them 10 more minutes. I mean, it's tough. And even if you've got the ball that much, for Georgia Tech. I mean, when you get 4 turnovers. I mean, you're getting the ball back. Our kids made some nice hits out there today. It wasn't them just dropping it on the ground at times. Our guys are causing turnovers. That's a positive. But we got to do something with the football, guys. I mean, you can't win if you don't score points. I mean, we scored 10 points on offense today. At halftime, we had 24 plays, and our defense had about 50. That's not good. Not against that team, because they're going to just continue to run it and run it and run it.
Did the game plan change at all, play calling wise, with Ben in there instead of Max? And how do you think that sort of played out for you guys?
Quarterback runs, and they stopped an early quarterback run. I mean, they played for DiNucci on some quarterback runs, and it's a read thing, so they were